Last week, I decided to go up to Joshua Tree National Park. I checked the weather report. It said it was going to be 48 degrees with some clouds. Now, on my ride up to the park, it was snowing. Then when I got to the park, it was still snowing. And I got there about 10:30 or 11. It really didn't look like it was going to stop snowing. I wasn't prepared in terms of especially how I was dressed. I was dressed warm, but not warm enough for the snow. I had on just regular tennis shoes. But in terms of photographs, I knew that it was going to be great because the foreground was clear, but in the background, you could see this nice white mist separating the foreground from the background, which I really liked and I knew was going to work well for the landscape shot. It also was going to add a new dimension to the landscape shots I was going to get. I had only brought the M10 Monochrom and one lens with me. Now, the M lenses aren't weather sealed. The M10 Monochrom is weather sealed. I'm not sure what the rating is. Be cautious, wind going out into the rain with it or the snow. The lenses, being they're not weather sealed, you're always cautious, of course. You'd rather have an umbrella or just avoid the rain and the wet altogether. I thought, well, these lenses aren't fragile either. Of course, you don't want to drop them. I had hoped that I could still go out and get some shots while it was snowing, and I'd cover the lens with my arm, trying to protect the barrel from getting any flakes on it. I was covering the rangefinder window, so I knew I was going to have to shoot with live view only. The problem was I was nervous while I was out there because I didn't want to damage the lens. I also didn't want to get water within the lens to camera connection here and get it on the sensor. I was going out, taking a few shots, and then I'd run back in the car, dry off the lens barrel, dry off the camera, and then I'd wait a bit, I guess build up enough courage, and I'd go back out there and I'd photograph some more. It was a shame because it was such perfect weather conditions with that foggy white mist background that if I had a weather sealed camera, I would have, obviously stayed outside the whole time. It would have been great. I also would have wanted to shoot with the M10 Monochrom, even if I had brought a weather sealed camera, because I love the M lenses and I love the M10 Monochrom sensor. I think, had I not used it, I would have always thought, well, what would have those photographs looked like? So either way, I was going to use this camera. Covering it with my sleeve, it worked to some extent. Still, some flakes, would get on it, and there would be a little water on the lens. Not much, enough where you'd want to wipe it off and be cautious. Fortunately, now that I'm home and after looking at the photographs, nothing happened to the camera and nothing happened to the lens. So that's great. Was hoping it would stop snowing by 12 or a little after 12, maybe, getting near 1, the snow would just start to fade. Fortunately, it did. And once it did and I went outside, I was able to relax and I wasn't, nervous about the camera anymore. It was, it was what the trip was supposed to be at that point. And I ended up getting obviously more photographs in that situation. Now I only saw about 1 to 2% of the place. Joshua Tree National Park is about 800,000 acres. So you're not going to see it all in one day. And I obviously didn't. But what I did see, I will say it was really just a beautiful place. When I would go outside there, you just kind of have this urge to want to keep walking around and trying to get, the right composition. One day, of course, that's the kind of place you plan on going back to and maybe staying the night somewhere or camping there. However, it would be worthwhile to stay there as long as you can.